This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good morning, Shelley Grierson. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful morning?
Very well. Thank you very much, Angel, for having me.
Definitely a pleasure. What part of the world are you in right now?
I am in the UK, but I'm from New Zealand, so moved over to the UK about a year ago.
All right. Well, do tell us which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at a specific time in history.
My marketing background, predominantly.
Ooh, tell us more.
So I work in digital marketing and have done for a few years. But sort of something else that I'm working on the side, which may have led to our connecting online, is I'm working with LinkedIn Local, and I'm hosting a series of events, which are business networking events for women. And it's sort of putting faces to the profiles. So we obviously connect with loads of people on LinkedIn these days, but we don't necessarily actually get to know them very deeply at all. So it's kind of an initiative to actually get to know these people and network with them on more of a face-to-face level.
Ooh, it's like what I'm doing.
Yeah, so very interesting.
I do it a bit, I do it one notch down, which is virtually, audio to audio, then I go meet people, which is what you're doing, which is the second step, right? Which is beautiful. Who did you learn how to be, to be the person you're being? It needs to be warm, and definitely love is there as well. Let's do love. Who did you learn how to be a loving individual from?
I think that always comes down to, I guess, predominantly your parents, right? And sort of your upbringing. And I was fortunate enough to have a really loving upbringing and a really loving family. And I think actually my parents, about 3 days ago, just celebrated their 42nd wedding anniversary. It's such a long time. It's longer than I've been alive. And so, it's just really impressive to see, a couple that are still going so strong after such a long amount of time. So to have had them as role models, I think definitely helps a lot.
Yeah, there isn't a better image of a LinkedIn local connection than your parents being married for 42 years.
I know exactly. I should put that on my profile, shouldn't I?
I love it. So, all right. So what does it look like? Like, how does it work? Like, how do you tag this as LinkedIn local?
So LinkedIn Local they're actually an organization, kind of a spin-off in a way of LinkedIn itself, but they are affiliated. So it's basically an organization that has representatives all around the world. And you can literally go to their website if you're interested in applying to be a host. And you go through a bit of a training program or exercise with them in order to be able to call yourself a LinkedIn Local host. And generally, they're looking for people in areas that don't already have a host. But if there is already a host in your area, that's fine. It doesn't mean you're not allowed to be. You can still go and set up another type of event in your area. So I came across it just through another mutual contact of mine. And we was just super interested. And there was nothing specifically for sort of business networking for women in the area. It was as well. It was all kind of mixed business networking, which is fine. I attend those as well. But I thought I would actually like to do something just for sort of mentoring and supporting women into more business leadership roles. So that's kind of how it all began.
That's amazing. Wow. Where's the best place for someone that's listening to connect with you?
Yeah, LinkedIn. I guess I would have to direct them to LinkedIn. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, wonderful. Shelley is spelled with an E. Amazing audience. So it's SHELLEY and Grierson, GRIERSON. Well, that's amazing. Well, do tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
I think upskilling. I think I would have to say I always upskill, and it doesn't matter to me if those skills, if I never end up using them, I don't really care. I think it's just a good way to almost pass time as well in a constructive way. So it doesn't matter whether I'm talking in sort of a business or career sense or whether it's just in my spare time. I was actually talking to a lady the other day, and it was just really interesting. She was telling me that she acts in a theatre group, and she's working on a play at the moment. And I thought, how cool to meet an adult that has a hobby. Like, you don't meet many people these days that actually have an extracurricular activity that they go to on a regular basis. And so I think for me, every year when the new year comes around, I know we all tend to make New Year's resolutions and then break them straight away when it's like healthy eating and all that sort of stuff. But I try to pick a couple of new skills each year and or activities. And yeah, I just try to always upskill. I guess that would be my answer.
Now, there's something I read there that I cannot let pass by. She's sounding so humble by describing this. Now, you took a few years off, right? No, a few years ago, you took some time off. And one of the things you were doing was, let me see if I get this right. I'm sure I read this somewhere. Swap the rat race for a life working and living on private super yachts.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh my gosh.
It's just something a bit different, you know. So I've always really loved travel and meeting people and just chasing the sun. That's always nice as well. And I knew a few people that worked in super yachting, and it's kind of one of these industries. You know, when you're in school, they don't tell you all of these amazing things that you can do when you grow up. You're sort of only given like 5 options. So it's just really interesting to meet people in life that open your eyes to new career paths that you didn't even know were possible. And so I was working in London at the time, and I just thought, right, it's time for me to just have a break and enjoy life for just what I want to enjoy life for. And an opportunity came up to work on a super yacht. So they flew me to the south of France. Wow. I joined the yacht. Didn't have to work on the yacht for almost a year because it was in the shipyard the entire time. So we just had a great time living in this villa with this amazing bunch of crew. And then when the ship went into the water, we got to sail all around the world and just look after guests, and it was really cool. So an amazing story, chapter of my life, all that kind of thing.
Love it.
In saying that, though, it does give you an appreciation for just normal routine.
Definitely. Love it. Again, amazing audience. You're hearing it live from Shelley Grierson. Shelley, let's switch gears for a moment. Let me now invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Shelley,
lovely.
What is your earliest childhood memory?
My earliest childhood memory is in our backyard of the house that I grew up in the vegetable patch with my mum. Just not really doing anything in particular, just sort of standing there. And that's what I remember.
How old were you in that memory?
I was about 2.5, so I think it's quite an early childhood memory.
Why do you think it's so clear?
I just remember kind of like not a sports car, that's a very fancy term. It was kind of like a crappy version of a sports car, a loud car zooming up the road. And I just remember giving me a huge fright because I hadn't come across anything like that before. So I think maybe that's why it stands out.
Intriguing. Do you remember the color of the car?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
I asked that because the episode before you, the individual who is also located in the UK, said a similar type of dream, but in his dream he had like this, well, not dream, earliest childhood memory. There was a balloon, a red balloon. It's really intriguing that you share the episode right after with your memory being in a garden as well. And having this one thing that sticks out that, all right, so let me do this then. So can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Oh my gosh, I would love to. I'd love to hear it.
I love the concept of what you've done in your life by creating markers, even if it's one thing a year or even if it's 1 year per decade, a decade of your life, yeah? But creating that type of card and that passes by, which is that element of a thing, of something that's fun, something that isn't connected to anything, as you said, upskilling in your life, but how that in itself has created the character of your life, if you would. So you're doing the gardening with your mother, which is great, right? Like, I mean, that's amazing. But at the same time, I mean, running off with the car, if you would, or running off to super yachting, it's just something that helps you grow tremendously. Yeah.
Definitely, it makes sense. Oh, thank you for that little rundown.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Rundown, pun intended. Pun intended.
Yeah, exactly.
If we fast forward to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
Oh my gosh, it was called The Boy Is Mine by Brandy and Monica. So my best friend and I used to sing it nonstop.
Love it. Double duet. It's a great song.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Shelley. Well, we've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Shelley, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
No,
Are you married?
not yet.
Do you have children?
No.
Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
No.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
Yes.
What about screen time, the phone and the computer? Is it more than
Yes.
8? Okay.
Yes, definitely. Sadly.
You did that quickly. I didn't get to finish, Shelley. Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did I do it too quickly?
No, you actually
I
you're
took
good.
the directions too seriously.
No, you're All right. All right. If you had to share with us your own unique, real statement, a statement that represents who you are, Shelley Grierson, what would you say that is?
Oh my gosh, I find that a really tough one because I don't think I have a great way with words, but I would just say keep evolving. So there we are, short and sweet, keep evolving. I just think, in life you don't always know what the right direction is, and I've certainly had many moments like that myself. But I think as long as you're taking a step in a direction, that's a positive thing. And it doesn't matter if it's the wrong direction sometimes, as long as you're not sort of stagnating and you're trying new things, you'll always end up in the right place.
Love it. Shelley, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
No, just thank you for listening, and it's been a real pleasure. It's been fantastic talking to you, Angel.
I appreciate you as well being here. It was definitely fun. Love the car zooming by while the garden was going on. I love it, love it, love it, love it. All right, Shelley.
One day I'm looking forward to getting to quiz you on a few questions.
Oh, yeah, let's do that. Yeah, sign me up. That should be fun. Yeah,
Sounds good.
All right, Shelley. Well, Shelley Grierson, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you so much, Angel.
You're welcome.
This segment has been brought to you by Amazel Enterprise.